No,
out of town.
If it's work related,
Right.
towards the business, it's fine. But if it's personal, as a director of the business or as a member of the business, you always have to give yourself a salary. You get some people, okay, if they make $1 million profit, they'll have that million to themselves. They'll say, I've made $1 million, which is wrong. As a business owner, you always have to have money, to
In the
trade.
business, yeah.
Yes. So what you say at the end of the month, you've made $1 million, give yourself a salary.
As the director.
As the director, it goes to your personal account, whereby you can now use it for your family or for travel or for holiday or for whatever. You understand now?
Yeah.
The motherland, the African man. Long as I'm alive, I'ma make a plan. Strongholds to break, got long walks to take, got no votes to make, we don't bet, we pray. Hey, African man, yeah. The African male iris, through the eye of an African male.
Welcome to another episode of the African Male Iris. Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Prayer Soul, and I'm here with
DJ Tino. Welcome back, guys. I'm so glad this guy is back. I was doing all the talking and I was getting tired.
Right. So, this particular episode is definitely going to be for people who are thinking about fixing their finances, right? Whether it's personal or it's business, we thought we'd do something that's wholesome in terms of just helping you fix your money. Because we have a lot of issues with regards to money, but people never really get into them. And sometimes it's a very uncomfortable conversation to have because you're not so sure how to ask, who to ask, do they know, So we got someone who actually knows what they're talking about. So this is going to be a very informative show. If you have any extra questions above everything that we're going to talk about, please feel free to get in touch with our all of our socials. Just get in touch there, and then we'll be able to also assist. But we have a young man. You're single, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We have a young man who's single, so ladies, and his name is Mkondisi Robson, but everybody calls him Robson. So Robson's here today, and a round of applause for Robson coming on the show. Thank you so much for coming,
for
bro.
inviting me. Thank you so much.
Just to mention that Robson has managed my the taxes for my company and my as an individual for the last 3-4 years now.
It's 4 years now, since 2020.
Yeah,
right.
So, yeah.
Cool,
he's the man that makes sure that everything is in check.
But dude, you're pretty young for this. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Imagine.
What? This is gonna
It's
be
impressive, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So Robson is a tax specialist or tax expert, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he basically is going to be teaching us about how this topic works. So Robson, I think a lot of people kind of get nervous about tax,
Yeah.
and
That's true.
then they don't really want to head on face it and start just doing the work of fixing your house or putting your house in order.
In order.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or they think that getting a tax expert who's going to help me, like what Tino's saying, that you've helped his personal tax and whatever. They always think that it's going to be too expensive and I can't afford it. So let me just not do it. So people kind of shy away from the whole tax thing.
Yeah.
But what I want for you to just talk to us about is firstly how you got into this. Like how did this happen? How did you eventually, find yourself in the tax?
Okay, so basically the history why I started doing tax. My father was also an accountant.
Right. Okay.
In Zim, you
Right.
know. So growing up at a young age, he used to take us, sit on the computer, take 2 papers, tell me if you see, okay, he would print 2 papers and I wouldn't understand. They would be like, it was a bank statement, but you didn't understand. You're still young. You say, if you see...
don't even know what it is, yeah.
Exactly. If you see 25, you see 25 here. Tick, 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 tick,
It's balancing.
Is it balancing? The numbers that you don't see, you mark them in red. Then you give me, I'll give you $2,
Are you serious?
Wow.
I'm 110%
That's a good
sure.
dad.
Bro, how old were you when your dad did
We were
this?
very young. Sunday like this after church.
Like what, 5 years, 6, 7
5,
years?
6 years, when you're at that age of understanding, Because
Right.
around 5, 6, 7, 8 years of age, So you take us, make us sit on the desk, You say, take 2 papers. You show me. If you finish this work, I'll give you $2. You know, it's $2 in Zim back then. You have money for lunch at school. You know, you're fine. So
it's such a cool thing to do, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's late. Passed on in 2017.
I'm sorry about that.
You know, so and then I started after I went to school. I started studying ACCA.
Okay.
Yes. I think I'm doing my last year now.
Okay.
Yes, with ACCA. So that's when I started having a thing for accounts, and then I was like, no, let me come study here and look for opportunities here.
Okay.
And then I met an opportunity. I started working at the firm where we're working now.
Right.
That's when I met DJ Tino.
Right.
This Texas.
Nice.
Yes. And
That
then
is brilliant,
And
bro.
then from there, you find it's like your passion, If DJ Tino is happy, it makes you
feel good.
It makes you feel good that he appreciates the work that you're doing. You understand? So
Right.
that's the most important thing about the part of the job. It's not about money, because you might get someone who's trying to grow. It's not basically you have to kill them or scare them off. You have to grow together.
Right.
If they're there, then eventually you're there. So it's
Okay.
basically this thing with accounts. If you help him to grow, save his finances, manage his
That
taxes,
is brilliant, bro.
Yes.
Are you sure you're 24?
Yeah, I know, I know, bro. I'm like, I did not sound like this at 24, bro.
Not at all.
I work
Wow.
with guys that are older than me. Last time I answered a code, SARS, they asked me, how old are you? I was like, and they asked me my date of birth, actually. I was like, 9 March, and then I kept quiet. I was like, 9 March 2000. Everybody in the
Whoa,
office-
shit, bro, you were born in 2000.
Exactly.
Robson's a kid, bro. Wow, man. Okay, that's
Yes.
brilliant.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so, I think maybe my main questions
Yes.
are the two.
Yes.
The first one is if I'm a young person and or not even young, like if I'm
Yes.
just a person who wants to set up a business,
Yes.
right? In a very simplified way, because I'm sure, there's definitely
Juggling,
more.
yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot.
Yeah.
But in a very simplified way, how do I sort of prepare myself
Okay.
for tax season?
For tax season. Is the business registered already, or do you want me to start?
can
from-
start
Let's
from
say you just,
registration.
let's say you just,
you're
I just
thinking-
have a new recipe for maquinya.
Okay.
And my maquinya are like the hottest thing that, and people have never, like it's maquinya with, I don't know, with something, chocolate and cheese or
Yeah.
something, and it's new.
Yeah.
And then people are buying it and I'm like, then someone says, you need to
Start a business.
start a
Open up
business.
Start a business.
So
Register.
this thing could go national.
Yes.
And then you think, maybe I'm onto something. Let me register a business. And actually see how it goes.
How it goes.
Yeah, from zero.
Okay. So the first most important thing is to actually think the first 3 names of the business that you want.
Right.
Well, here in South Africa, we have 2 platforms of registering business. There's the Biz Portal, and then there's the CIPC.
Right.
So basically, you have your 3 names. If you have an ID, or you can also be a foreigner and have a business here, they allow it.
Right.
So you open your business, you have your company registration documents. The next thing is to now open your bank account before you start trading. As you have said, you have Maguinya, you're selling them, but most importantly, you're trading with your personal account.
Right.
What happens at the end of the day? You've made money, you're on the street, you're selling. Let's say a day you might sell over 100,000, And then where most people fail is like where SARS comes and asks them, okay, there's 100,000 coming in this week, there's 200,000. At the end of the month, there's 500,000. They will tax you on those amounts. But, the law says ignorance is not a defense. Already you have to pay what belongs to the tax department. But if you have a company bank account, okay, the SARS says, okay, the revenue against the expenses, is it a profit or a loss? If you are a South African director, you are charged 27% of the profit. If you're a foreigner, it's 28%.
Right.
So most importantly, you open a company, you open your bank account. Now you're set. The next thing is to open...
So, sorry, just to slow you down there.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying it's
Yeah.
actually better to open a business account
Yes, way better.
because you're not being taxed for all of the money.
Yes.
Because you are using money to buy the flour and the cooking oil and the
Yes.
cheese and the chocolate and
Yes,
marketing and whatever.
Yes.
So all of that cannot be taxed.
Yes.
So the sooner someone opens a business account, the better.
The better. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go continue.
The less tax.
And the less tax.
Less tax.
Because
Right.
look at it. Let's say you're making around 100,000 every month.
Right.
But this money, you're putting it in your personal account. It's maybe Capitec, it's FNB.
Yeah.
SARS has access to all of us bank accounts.
Right.
If you didn't know,
Right.
they're gonna come to you at the end of the month. You've made 1.2 million because if you calculate 100,000 times 12 months, it's 1.2 million.
Right.
Plus the extras that you're gonna get. Maybe DJ Tino is gonna say, "Happy birthday! Here's 5,000." Robson, happy birthday! It's
Right.
more now. SARS is gonna say you've earned 1.2 million. First, they're gonna start investigating you. That's why most people fail. They start saying, SARS is on my back. How do I fix this? How do I do this? How do I do this? But you are wrong at first to trade with your personal account. It's very unprofessional.
So if anyone's getting into any business,
yes,
it's better to always set up
always set up a business account and a registered company.
And it's so
And
easy.
a registered
So easy.
company.
It doesn't take time. Yes.
Right.
Whether you're a foreigner, if you have a valid passport, if you have a proof of address here, and probably a cell number, email address, you open up your business in with
And we can give people your details, like
Exactly.
the system.
Yes.
That's right. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So basically if someone's getting into business, registering the company and then setting up a business account
Yes.
is the thing to do.
Yes.
So my next question was going to be, what are the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to tax?
When it comes
That
to
you've
like-
just seen, like, from your own experience.
Okay, from my own experience, I won't mention some clients because of confidential information.
Yeah, don't
confidential
mention
rights.
me, please.
Yes, but
But Tino's one of them guys. So
Yeah.
so just keep watching his body language.
yes. Okay, I'll give an example. You
Right.
know, there is value-added tax. It's where most people make mistakes.
So value added tax. What's that like in just layman's?
Okay, so
layman's
value-added tax it's a tax whereby, the government says if you've made over $1 million in the financial year, you have to be registered for that type of tax and declare 15% every month to them of whatever you have sold.
terms? Wait. If you make $1 million, right?
Yes, it's mandatory
Within the year.
within the year.
That's the minimum.
That's the minimum.
That's minimum.
Yes.
So if your company makes $1 million within the year, right?
Yes.
You're supposed to do what?
To register for the value-added tax.
You're supposed to register for value
Yes,
added
it's
tax.
mandatory.
Okay.
It's mandatory.
All right.
But look, if you're not, if you've made 500,000 for the year, it's voluntary as well. But you have to get to 500,000 revenue margin or 1 million. But 1 million, it's mandatory. Automatically, you have to.
Okay.
Yes. Or else you'll be against the law. You find yourself on the wrong side of the law. Yes.
Okay.
So basically, it's where most people fail. Let's say, some guys, they don't want to pay value-added tax. They've made over 100,000 and there's 15,000 to give back to SARS. So this value-added tax, how it works, it's your revenue against your cost of sales and other expenses.
Right.
Yes, if you've bought more and and sold less, SARS will say, okay, we'll give you a refund. They'll actually give you a refund. If you have sold more, because what they say, it's output against input. Output is what you're selling. Input is what you're buying. If the output is more, you have to pay the 15% to SARS. If the input is more, SARS will say, we'll refund you your money. Do you have the supporting evidence? Send us the invoices.
Wow, bro.
Yes.
So that's why these guys didn't bother me month after month.
Month after month.
Whatever
So it's
you're buying
bi-monthly.
using the company. And I think that's the other advice that says
Yes.
if you're buying any small assets, no matter how small they are, just use the company
Yes,
and
yes.
keep the invoices.
The invoices.
So whatever VAT that is against what you're buying, SARS can refund you that.
Can refund you. Yeah.
That is brilliant, bro. Like I didn't know about that.
Yes, yes. Okay, let's say I'll give an example where we are here. There's couch, there's this microphone, there's this desk.
Yeah, Shudu needs to pay us, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we're giving him some free consultancy.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. There's couches and there's lights and whatever.
I mean, if you register for VAT, you get the invoices, okay? If you have made less, from YouTube or whatever, SARS can say, okay, we give you your refund. You have more money back into the business. You understand? So you're at an advantage.
5% of that belongs to us. We want that money, or else we're calling stars on you.
Yes.
Wow, that's brilliant. So there's definitely like other ways that this helps.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So that's one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest mistakes.
Yes.
What else? What else have you seen?
So basically, I would say also an advantage. I have guys that are into transport industry.
Right.
These guys, they might make 100,000, but they might go buy a truck for $1 million.
Okay.
Already $1 million, there's VAT 15% of 150,000.
Right.
So already you have more input than output.
Yeah.
So he has bought the truck on finance. SARS is going to refund him that 150,000 back, the deposit he has paid for the truck.
Are you serious, bro?
Now he's operating at nil. You understand?
Wow.
He's operating at zero cost. Okay, he went and paid 100,000 for this truck. He came with the invoice. SARS is going to pay him back the 150,000. His money is back, which means he's gotten the truck for free. He is getting more work done. He has more efficiency at zero cost.
That's crazy.
At zero cost. But his
That is
taxes are up to
crazy.
date. Okay, sometimes if he doesn't buy trucks, he pays what belongs to SARS. There is no two ways about
Yeah,
it. He has
yeah,
to
yeah.
pay what belongs to the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be stealing from the government. You understand?
100%.
So, this thing of getting someone to do your taxes, it depends whoever you get. But on my side, if someone comes, it's small. We'll say, okay, let's start with what's there. Eventually, when you're up there, I'm also up there. You understand? If your opportunities
Growing together.
widen, we will grow together.
Right.
But if you come, you say, okay, prayer comes, it says, I want my taxes. I just say, prayer 5,000. I look aside. Already I've pushed you off. Instead of saying,
Right.
okay, come, let me help you. When you get an opportunity, I'm also there. You understand?
So
we
there's-
enjoy the cake.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So basically, there's a lot more in terms of, because I remember hearing about a friend of mine's telling me about his Indian friend, he's a mentor,
Yes, yes.
and he was basically explaining how he almost puts all of his expenses on his business account, like holidays and lunches, and he always includes some business element of his work and play, and so it's almost like a lot of his expenses end up going to his business account. So what's the catch there?
I would actually say, in a way, it wouldn't be advisable to use everything under the business account.
Yeah, no, not everything, but yeah, I mean,
His personal expense. Is it the owner of the business?
he's the owner. He owns the business,
Right.
and
Okay.
he does a lot of like out of office meetings.
Meetings, okay.
Yeah.
No,
and out
if-
of town.
If it's work related
Right.
towards the business, it's fine. But if it's personal, as a director of the business or as a member of the business, you always have to give yourself a salary. You get some people, okay, if they make $1 million profit, they'll have that million to themselves. They say, I've made $1 million, which is wrong. As a business owner, you always have to have money, to
In the
trade.
business, yeah.
Yes. So what you say at the end of the month, you've made $1 million, give yourself a salary
As the director.
as the director. It goes to your personal account, whereby you can now use it for your family or for travel or for holiday
Right.
or for whatever. You understand now?
Yeah.
So always as a director, it's always very important to give yourself a payslip at the end of the month. It's financial discipline.
So Robson, does that mean if you're giving yourself that salary,
Yes.
that's not taxed?
No, it has to be taxed.
That's it. That's
It
your
has to
pay.
be taxed.
That's your
Yes.
pay as you earn.
Yes,
now.
pay as you earn now.
Oh, okay. So it's taxed differently.
Yes.
Is it taxed to you in your individual basis then?
Yes, it's taxed to. So what happens? It's your company, okay?
Right.
And then you have to register it for pay as you earn. Every month
Okay.
you declare the pay as you earn and the UIF. So the UIF is basically the pay as you earn comes from you, but the UIF is 1% from you and 1% from the company.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, let's say you've earned 10,000. There might be pay as you earn for 100 and something rand. And then for UIF, it's 100 rand, but you're going to declare 200 rand. 1% from you, 1% from the company.
Right.
Yes. So it's basically you have to give yourself a salary instead of using some other personal expenses under the company bank account.
Okay.
Yes.
So in saying that, I think also maybe Robson, you can elaborate on that. How they guided me when I earn from my company, I do pay myself monthly.
Monthly, yes.
But also there are brackets when there are tax brackets, right?
Yes, they're tax
And
brackets.
you have to be
Okay.
careful the amount you actually pay to yourself. Maybe
Yes.
you can elaborate on that.
Ah,
So basically, the more you pay yourself is the more you get taxed. The more you pay yourself is the more you get taxed. The less is the less tax. But I mean, if let's say you want to give yourself 50,000 salary, you have to obviously, declare something to the tax department. Or what you can say is tax planning. Let's say you come to us and say, I want to buy a house. Okay, this is how much I'm giving myself. Okay, we'll look at the house. How much is it worth? $1 million. Okay, the agent will say, even if you go on Property 24, it will show you how much you must earn to pay this certain type
Yes.
of bond. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
You say, I want to pay this amount. Okay, we say for the next 3 months, let's do tax planning. let's save money from the business, whereby you can say, even if you're paying yourself 50,000, you can pay the other to tax. You understand? We can say, okay, for now, give yourself 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. But when you want to apply for a house, they say 3 months pay slip. And then so let's say give yourself now that 50,000. Let them see that 50,000 coming into your account. Pay what belongs to SARS. But you have already planned for this whole situation.
Right,
You have planned. Instead of
right.
saying, wake up, I want to buy a house, you start giving yourself 50,000 and,
Right.
it'll be, you won't have that money. You end up finding yourself in situations where you can't, come out from,
Right.
Yeah, I think basically that's...
Wow, man, that's so
Very
much.
interesting.
There's so much. No, I think
Yeah.
So we're gonna put Robson's details on the thing, right?
100%.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna put your details up on the screen.
yeah.
Thank you.
And then just have people get in touch with
Yeah,
you
for
if
sure.
there's-
Anytime.
Yeah, because I feel like there's definitely so much more
Yes.
that
In the
you
text.
can benefit from.
Yes. So, basically the other thing, what happens with these real estate agents, okay?
Right.
They are registered for tax. They have an income tax number, but they're taxed differently. Why? They are not a tax directive. So basically, they get their commission. They come to me. They say, "Look, I'm getting taxed. I think 25% or 24%.
Right.
That the tax changed, but it was 24% to 25%. They say, so to save money, they have to be registered as a tax directive. They'll start getting taxed 18,000, and find out some of these real estate agents that sell houses and stuff like that. The commission is so big, bro. Like it's around 60,000, 80,000.
For one sale.
One sale, you understand? And they come crying, I'm getting taxed around 25%, all of this. 25% already of 80,000. That's a lot of money. That's
It
around
is.
16, 17,000. They
Right.
come to me, they say, okay, so they have to have their own SARS profile, whereby you now say, okay, I'm registering them as a tax directive. And that document is valid for one full financial year, which means from 25%, they're now getting taxed 18%.
Is that going to be per commission or is that
Per
month?
commission.
Oh,
Per commission.
really?
The document actually writes as commission earner.
Wow.
It doesn't write as, every month or
Every
employee.
month
Yeah.
or-
Commission
Wow,
earner.
that is crazy, bro.
Yeah. So the tax will be reduced, they'll have more income now to themselves.
Guys, I'm definitely booking a meeting with Robson. 'cause
Oh,
there's
yes.
so many things I'm
Consult,
thinking of. I'm like, guys.
And maybe when you are, what would you advise for someone to, if you've got a business and you've got a personal,
Yes.
when you're buying a house, under which capacity is best to actually purchase a house
A
or
house. Okay.
these bigger assets?
Okay. I would basically advise it's under the company most of the time.
Right.
So the company has assets. I would the tax is a little bit low than personal. You understand? I
So
would always
what's the difference? Let's say I want to buy a property for 500,000.
yes.
What's the difference between buying it under the company and buying it under the individual?
Okay, so basically it's now, let's say your interest. Now, if you're personal, they look at how much you're earning.
Yes.
It's different from the company. The company, they'll look at how much is the company making. You understand? So the company might be making more and you're giving yourself less.
Okay.
Which means if you apply it under the company, your interest becomes what? Lower, because they can see there's more money coming in. And then they can see you can pay this house faster under than a personal capacity. You understand? So I'd always prefer it under the company, and it's a company asset, yeah?
So on the personal aspect, there's a bit more risk, like in terms of earning capacity. Or
Yes, I would say it's a bit more expensive.
Expensive.
In the long term, under than the company.
I see.
Because in the company, it's always the interest is lower. They try and always push for the company to have assets under than personal. But personal, I mean, if you haven't, because they say if you want to purchase property, you have to have financial statements.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to wait for 12 months. But personal, it's just 3 months. You just go and then you apply and then you qualify. But under company, you do your proper planning. You say, I need to buy this, how much? I need to pay this much. You come to us, we assist you. We say, okay, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And then you get your property.
Okay.
Yes, so I prefer it under the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at returns, explain to me the annual returns.
The income.
I think there's so many things that Robson just asks me for. He just tells me I need this and this.
You know, it's
this,
just
this.
like, yo, bro, is it done? Is it
Like,
done?
am I good? Am I safe?
Wapenza.
Yeah.
Oh, asabo. Yeah. How like annual returns? How does that go?
Okay, so basically what happens with annual returns, okay, let's say I would give an example for his company because he's here. He's registered for VAT and everything.
Right.
We look at how much we have been declaring to the tax department,
Right.
the sales. It always has to match with the amount at the income tax. Let's say you're declaring every month 2,000. At the end of the financial year, it's 24,000.
Right.
And then income tax, you go and declare 50,000. Already there's a mismatch there.
Right.
So I was going to ask you, of 26,000, where did this 26,000 go? Is it zero rated? Because there might be zero rated that you didn't declare, or that you can justify that there was zero rated sales. But zero rated, there are things, like diesel, it's zero rated, and things like quite cross border sales.
Okay.
It's if they're zero rated. I mean,
Oh, really?
yes, it's zero rated. But if it's local and you're doing business local, they'll ask you, okay, you've been declaring, you declared 24,000 in your value added taxes, and you're declaring your salary 100,000 for the whole full financial year. Now in income tax, we see there's 50,000, the salary for over 120,000. There's already differences, you know.
Right.
So basically, we have to sit down. We check our invoices. Is it matching with everything? Well, basically, we have a system whereby we manage these things on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Where we capture, he sends invoices. We capture, we know how much profit and stuff like that he's making. And then we do the tax planning that we can forecast. You do the cash flow forecast to say, okay, he's making 2,000. These are so much. He's making this profit, 100 Rand. At the end of the full financial year, it's 27 Rand that he has to pay. So we do the planning. Okay, let's put this money aside. When SARS is going to come to us at the end of the full financial year, let's pay this to SARS. You understand? So basically, we have to do a tax planning whereby we see, okay, we sit down with, he knows he has his contract, okay. He knows how much a month is invoicing. At the end of the financial year, he knows how much he's going to spend towards his business. He knows how much he's going to make. Okay. And then we sit down, we do the tax planning. Let's do this.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, bro! There's so much to learn.
Yeah.
So my next question is gonna be, so let's say for someone who has no clue, they just got excited, they set up their business.
Yes.
They set up a business account.
Yes.
And they start trading.
And
then just keep going, and they just keep going. And then later on, they start realizing, oh, maybe I need to figure out how the tax thing is gonna go.
Yes.
And then they realize they owe SARS money.
To SARS, yes.
How do they get themselves out of that? Like, how do you guys help with that situation?
To be fair enough, SARS gives people opportunities because they want you to keep, paying. This is how, things work here. You have to pay taxes for everything.
Right.
So SARS gives you opportunities. Let's say you see you owe SARS 100,000. You're going to come to us. We sit down. We arrange, we sit down with SARS, we have meetings, we do a payment plan arrangement. You tell us, okay, this 100,000, how do you plan to pay it? You say, as I'm making this and this so much, I plan to pay it probably by the end of year. We go to SARS, we prepare supporting documentation. Okay, business has not been doing so great. We acknowledge what we did,
Right.
but we want to pay this amount, okay, the 100,000 that we owe to you guys. So SARS, says we make payment arrangements. SARS will give you a term to pay. They might give you 24 months. They might give you 48 months. They might give you 12 months.
Okay.
And so you'll be paying probably like around 5,000 a month or this until, it's finished. It's done, yeah. So basically, you won't go broke by then. So it depends. You sit down, you say, 100,000.
And then say, this is what I can afford to pay per month.
Per month. We sit down and then we calculate how much would the 100,000 finish by the end of the time frame that you've told us yourself. And then we say if it's 2 years, after 2 years, we plan, we sit down, we say, okay, 100,000, we divide it by 2 years. We go to SARS. Okay, we acknowledge what we did. This is our client. He has appointed us to represent him, okay? We acknowledge we want to pay this amount. But, okay, give us time to pay. SARS will say, okay, when do you want to pay? Then it takes time, 21 working days for them to approve.
Okay.
You send them what they want, the financials, the supporting letters and everything. Once they say, they can come back to you and say, okay, we need it in, it might not always be rosy. Let's say you want 2 years. SARS might come and say, give us in 1.5 years. SARS might say, give us in 1 year. Depending on the information you've given them.
Right.
They're going to do their analysis to say, okay, this is what they're making per month, so they can pay us this much.
But there's definitely a negotiation that's
negotiation,
available.
Yes. To say, guys, I owe you this. I'm sorry for what I did. Because already, if you find out you owe 100,000, it won't be that 100,000 alone. Already there'll be that penalty.
On top of that.
Mostly it's charged at 10%, you understand?
Per annum.
No, per that, not per annum.
Per amount.
Per amount. and it accumulates.
Okay.
It accumulates with interest. You understand?
Okay.
So let's say you ignore that 100,000, it's gonna be 110,000, and then it's accumulating interest per month.
Right.
By the end of the year, you check, now you're owing 130,000. What happened? It's the interest, it's accumulating because you're ignoring, and they'll start sending you final demands and everything like that. That's where it becomes a problem now.
Right.
So I actually wanted you to address something.
Yes.
So, with my line of work in consulting, you can have one contract that you do,
Yes.
but sometimes you can get side hustles, right?
Yes.
And this is something I wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
Where I was with that main job, and when I'm filing for my tax, my payee,
Yes.
that was the only
Income.
yeah, that's the only income that I would have declared to SARS.
Yes.
But for the side gig,
Yes. You didn't have declared.
I didn't declare it. So at the end of the day, now what I had no knowledge of is the other company that's paying you here and there for those side hustles.
Yeah.
They also
Declaring.
declare.
Yes.
To
Yes.
say
So
we
declare,
paid
yeah,
this guy.
Yeah, we paid this guy.
So SARS actually has it on record.
That you've received
No.
Whoa, my friend.
yeah.
So that's something I think people should also be aware of. Right?
Nice.
But I think it's very important. Let's say, okay, you've forgotten that this information that you have. Okay, SARS always comes back and say, okay, you can always request for correction.
Okay.
To say, guys, I declared 100,000 instead of 200,000. You adjust, and SARS says, okay, give us the other information that you didn't send to us.
Okay.
Already you'd have paid them something. Let's say you paid them 9,000. They'll say, okay, apart from this money that you've declared, okay, pay the difference to us. And then it settles the case. But they always give you that room.
Eh?
Yes, they always give you
So
room.
it's really not as bad as it just sounds.
Yes, but
Okay.
most people ignore,
And that's when it gets bad.
that's where it
That's
gets
when
a
it
problem.
gets-
They ignore, the messages to say, okay, file your annual returns. I think May we're getting into a period where we'll be doing the pay-as-you-earn reconciliations, where people get their IRP5s or tax certificates, how much they made last year, personal. Understand?
okay.
Yes. So most people ignore doing those things. End up you find you non-compliant, one, and then you find out these days they're checking your bank statement. This guy is not paying anything to us, your personal, but this bank statement is making a lot of money. It's not bankruptcy, it's not anything. That's why they come after you, And already is a problem because the time frame they'll give you, it's very short
Tight.
to fix. The work they include, you have to work long hours to actually help this client, because they ignore it and they want a lot of information within a short space of time, Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's brilliant stuff. That's brilliant stuff.
Very informative. Man.
It is. I mean, this has been great. I think we'll definitely direct like anybody who's got any questions. We'll just and if we feel the need to get you back on, we'll definitely give you a shout.
110%, 110%.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure Rob also has another part of his life.
That
to
is
share.
not tax.
You know,
Because he's young and smart and making money. So he's got some stories where I think we're going to get him
we
on
need
an
to get him
episode
back.
soon
We need to get him
where it's
back.
just guys and then we're not talking about work
Yes,
and
we're talking
tax.
about the personal
Yes,
side.
Exactly.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
No, but guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And Robson, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you
bro.
so much for that.
We really
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
it,
guys.
man. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I've learned a lot. I definitely need to book an appointment
Anytime.
so that I can clean up my
Yes.
my things. Yeah, but I'm still safe. I'm
Yes.
still safe. But I think in a couple of months I need to.
You need to clean
I
up some
definitely
things.
need to clean up. Yeah.
Okay.
So please let us know if you've got any questions, any comments, suggestions. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. We have a WhatsApp number, so feel free to also get in touch with us. You can send voice notes. We can even play some of them on the show. Let us know what you'd like to see. And thank you for watching The African Male Iris. My name is Prayer Soul, and I'm out.
DJ Tino.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
The motherland, the African man. Long as I'm alive, I'ma make a plan. Strong hosts to break, got long walks to take, got no votes to make. We don't bet, we pray. Hey, African man, yeah. The African male iris.